In the heart of Shanghai's glittering skyline, where the Huangpu River whispers secrets to the Bun's timeless facades, a love story that began on a scripted set over a decade ago finally scripted its most magical chapter. Jerry Yen, the brooding heartthrob who first stole breaths as Dao Mingxi in Meteor Garden, and Tong Liya, the ethereal Xinjiang-born actress whose dance-honed grace lit up screens in Palace and beyond, exchanged vows yesterday in a ceremony that felt less like a wedding and more like the climax of a C-drama fans have binge-watched in their dreams. It was September 18, 2025, a date that will forever echo in the hearts of millions, as the pair, long rumored, long shipped, and endlessly adored, tied the knot in a private yet palpably electric affair at the historic Peace Hotel. Fans across the globe didn't just celebrate, they unraveled, overwhelmed by a joy so pure it flooded timelines, crashed servers, and turned strangers into instant confidants in the chaos of shared euphoria. Picture this: the air thick with autumn's first crisp bite, lanterns swaying gently under a canopy of silk and stars, the couple stepping into a world they'd built brick by tear-streaked episode. Jerry, at 48, still carrying that signature intensity in his dark eyes, the kind that once made teenage girls, and let's be honest, grown women too, clutch their hearts, stood tall in a tailored black tuxedo, its subtle embroidery nodding to his Taiwanese roots with phoenix motifs that symbolized rebirth. Tong, 42 and radiant as ever, glided down an aisle lined with white peonies and cherry blossoms imported from her homeland in Xinjiang, her gown a masterpiece of flowing tulle and lace that caught the golden hour light like a halo. It was intimate. Only 150 guests, a mix of F4 bandmates, loving, never forgetting crew survivors, and A-list whispers like Fan Bingbing and Jay Cho. But the energy? Electric. As if the city itself held its breath, knowing this union wasn't just two stars aligning, it was a constellation fans had mapped for years. But rewind. How did we get here? How does an on-screen tortured romance, loving, never forgetting, that 2014 gem where Jerry played a single dad haunted by amnesia and Tong his resilient lost love, bloom into this off-screen forever? Their paths crossed amid the frenzy of that production, a Liya tale of push-pull passion that mirrored their own quiet chemistry. Sparks flew not just in scripted kisses, but in late-night script reads, where Jerry's dry humor cracked Tong's poised reserve, and her effortless warmth thawed his guarded shell. Fans noticed. Oh, did they notice? Forum threads exploded. Is this acting or acting? GIFs looped endlessly. That rainy reunion scene where he pulls her close, her hand trembling on his chest. It wasn't method, it was magic. By the finale's airing, #JerryTong was a hashtag empire, petitions for a sequel doubling as love letters to their what if. Years passed, and life, as it does, layered on complexity. Jerry, post F4 fame, navigated solo albums, Jerry Free still slaps, modeled gigs, and roles that showcased his evolution, from brooding idol to introspective artist in the legend of the Condor Heroes. Tong, meanwhile, juggled stardom with motherhood after her 2014 marriage to director Chen Xiqing, welcoming a son in 2016 and earning her ratings queen crown with hits like Beijing Love Story and Nirvana in Fire 2. Whispers of Jerry Tong persisted, fueled by red carpet glances and joint endorsements that felt too cozy for colleagues. Then, 2021, Tong's divorce from Chen made headlines, a quiet split citing personality differences but leaving fans clutching pearls. Jerry, ever the enigma, posted cryptic Weibo poetry about forgotten loves resurfacing like cherry petals in spring. Coincidence? The internet said no. Fast forward to 2024, and the rumors ignited like dry tinder. Leaked photos from a Beijing rap party showed them laughing over dim sum, her hand on his arm a touch too lingering. A pre-wedding shoot surfaced in December, candid frames of them in Hainan beaches, Jerry's arm around Tong's waist as waves lapped at their feet, her head on his shoulder under sunset palms. It's real, one viral post declared, racking up 2 million likes. Denials came swift. Jerry's team called it professional admiration. Tong echoed with a poised Instagram story about cherishing collaborations. But those eyes? They lied louder than words. By early 2025, announcements trickled. Joint appearances at charity galas, a rumored collab on a romance flick titled Eternal Echoes. Fans, sensing the tide, began wedding mood boards. Shanghai, they decreed. The Bund. Make it iconic. And iconic it was. Eyewitness accounts, smuggled from velvet-roped perimeters, paint a scene straight out of a fanfic fever dream. The Peace Hotel, with its 1920s Art Deco grandeur, hosted the rehearsal dinner the night before, where Jerry's F4 brothers, Vic Cho, Van Ness Wu, Ken Shu, toasted with vintage scotch, belting Meteor Garden anthems until security begged mercy. Tong's Xinjiang family flew in, blending Uyghur dances with Taiwanese folk tunes in a cultural fusion that had guests wiping tears. The ceremony itself? Sunset vows on a private riverside terrace, the Oriental Pearl Tower twinkling like a building the sequel fans always demanded. In a world of fleeting swipes and filtered facades, this wedding reminds us, love doesn't rush. It simmers, surprises, and when it seals with a kiss, overwhelms us all. Jerry Yan and Tong Liya didn't just tie the knot, they lassoed our hearts, pulling us into their orbit forever. And fans? We're not just okay. We're floating. Word count, 1,248.